Guys, Ultimate VO Survivor is back.
Sit back, grab your popcorn, and let's sell stuff. It's time for Episode 2, Commercial Promo. Let's get mic'd on the Ultimate VO Survivor Take 3, presented by Bodalgo. Thanks for joining us for Get Mic'd, the Ultimate VO Survivor Take 3, brought to you by Closing Credits and the VoiceOver Network. Let's give it up for your generous sponsors. Tune in next week for Episode 3, Narration Audiobook. Tell you about Deb Monroe. Deb Monroe Nordine. Yep, over 30 years of experience as a voice talent, coach, and producer, working from the comfort of her home in PJs. Deb has poured her heart and soul into this competition. She really has. I swear to God, I've been there. An award-winning powerhouse of energy, talent, and drive, all rolled into one. Oof. Time efficiency is her middle name, and so she will get right to the point with no holds-barred attitude. Sure to entertain and educate. You should see her on stage with a pair of high boots and singing. Plus, passion plus. Deb loves what she does and can't wait to share it with you. Hi, Deb.
Hi, everybody.
Huzzah. Now, what can I tell you about this person? I've been in love with her since I was a little boy, which was 3 years ago. Ellie Ray, this alchemical wizardess, prophetess, and shape-shifting unicorn dragon queen, has been raising the vibration of storytelling for 3 countless eons. Wow, that's a long time. Currently, for an award-winning 45 years in film, television, stage, radio, internet, etc. She must have been a fetus when it happened. This ever-loved bon vivant, doctor of laws, actor, writer, director, producer, illustrator, professor, and commander of all things creative continues to wow the masses with her extra special brand of magic and fearless play. Let's get this party started with Ellie Ray.
My booyah! Welcome all. This is exciting. Let the storytellers move ya. Let's have
Thank you,
fun.
ma'am. And how could we forget the ultimate master, your host and don't eat toast, and is the voice of gosh. Yep, it's me, Mr. Mike. Tonight, I'll keep an eye on the clock and leave you in shock with quips, snips, and feedback from our judging pips. Oh yeah, it'll be a full night on the edge of your seat entertainment, and you'll escape to the magic realm of voiceover. Now, don't forget to tune in every Wednesday night in February for The Voices, and just for the sheer fun of it. And finally, a huge shout out to everyone who has joyously participated with over 1,823 auditions submitted and 100,000 views, affording 37 glorious contestants to play in 3 spectacular voice categories to take home thousands of dollars in ultimate prizes. Now, they say it takes a village to raise a child or a VO performer. And remember, there is no I in team unless you're Spanish and you'd say equipo, I guess. And anyway, our UVOS equipo team is no exception. Together they pull the strings, mastering all things tech, media, digital, brain bending, and wondrous. Please give it up for our amazing volunteer VA tech team, OBS producer Jade Paul.
Woo!
Rachel Z and Zach Hendricks.
Yeah!
And all things production, Jedra McIntosh.
Ow!
Earl Fisher. Storm Waters, Heather Loretto, Trudy Sue Hicks, Jamil Berger, Roman Barry, John Harris, Onyx Vulcan, Delilah Halabi, haha, I almost didn't do it right, Delilah Halabi, Sean Marquez, Kayla Haycoop, and Michelle Jelly, Suzanne Amy, and all those who have helped us put this monster together. I kid you not, it is a monster. Okay, fasten your parachutes, seatbelts, and zippers, because things are about to get windy. Sorry, Ellie. So let's introduce our first contestant in the commercial promo category. Please welcome Amina Karomo.
Hello, everybody.
I missed it. Okay, Amina Karomo is a British voice actor based in London. Having started in theater in 2018, she began voiceover in the year that shan't be named. I won't do it. And has voiced games, animation, audiobooks, and dramas. Welcome, Amina.
Woo!
Hello. Hey, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome, Amina. You can begin your script whenever you're ready. We are grateful to have you here. Have a little fun, my friend.
Thank you. Out in the starting blocks, about to commence the second round of the UVOS. Sorry, do that again. Out in the starting blocks at midnight her time, by the way. About to start the commercial round of the UVOS Survivor Take 3. It is Amina Karomo.
Ow!
Advertising makes the world go round. Over 12 decades and growing strong. 1900s, Budweiser, the king of beer. 1920s, Maxwell House coffee. Good to the last drop. 1930s, Campbell's soup. Good. 1940s, Everybody needs the kind of zip and zing pep that Sunbeam bread gives you. There's nothing like Sunbeam energy to help you stay on the beam. 1950s, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Finger licking good. 1960s, they're great. Frosted Flakes. 1970s, I like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. That's the song I sing. 1980s, just do it. Nike. 1990s, here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the ones that don't fit inside the box. Apple. Think different. 2000s. Hey, I don't live in an igloo or eat blubber or own a dog sled. I have a prime minister, not a president. And let's pronounce Z, not Z, Z. Zebra, not zebra. Canada is the second largest landmass, the first nation of hockey, and the best part of North America. My name is Amina, and I'm Canadian. Hey, Molson. 2010s. Move the way you want. Uber. 2020s. Staples. That was easy. Voices past and present, firing up the microphone. Hear them all. Closing credits. Educate your way into the future.
Woohoo!
Well, this ain't going to be easy. Let's hear from our esteemed judges. Let's start with JMC.
Hey, Amina, thanks for being here. Love your sound. I mean, you just have a fantastic set of pipes, and you are a pleasure to listen to. A lot of fun along the way here, some good energy, which I like. Might have liked to hear a little more differentiation between some of them. I think what we're going to find as we go along is with this kind of all over the place wacky copy, that the more people lose themselves, the more fun it's going to be to some degree. So felt you kind of holding back in a couple of places, but overall it was fun. And you have one of those voices that you just want to keep listening to, regardless of what the content is and regardless of how you're moving through the copy. It was a pleasure hearing you. So yeah, maybe a little more play next time and give me take some more chances. But overall, good read. A lot of fun.
All right, Cliff Zellman, you're up.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Amina, you know I'm a big fan of yours, and I have been for a while. Love hearing your voice. I thought you did a very good job. This is a really, really difficult script, and it's a script that, I don't know which direction you guys are going to take. There's the direction of let's try to keep it as, as real as it was, to try to connect to the older people that are listening. A lot of popular music 20, 30 years ago is being used today. They stick with the originals, although I'm a little with JMC. I'd like to hear a little more fun on it. I thought you did a great job. These are all real hardcore American lines, so it's gonna be a little difficult. But the Apple and there's stuff in here that's pretty international. But overall, I think you did a really good job. I love your voice. I think you're beautiful, and I'm really glad you're here. So yeah, I think next round, have a little more fun. And dive a little bit deeper into the originals of what they were. I got the first buzz.
Yeah,
awesome.
Thank you, Cliff.
Oh,
Eric Schlepper,
thank
you're
you.
up, sir.
Everybody's so nice. I mean, this was tough. It's a very disjointed script, so everything's kind of all over the place. Not necessarily your fault. You had a bit of a rough start, but you recovered. It was kind of like there was some small and then big. We kind of lost you for a bit, and then you would go almost too much, I think, on some of these tags. The King of Beers thing, I wasn't quite sure what was going on. The Campbell Soup thing, it just, you were selling it a lot, and then you would kind of go back, and when you weren't doing these tags, you kind of got real small, and then you would come back out again during these tags. But that's tough, man. The whole, that whole thing is tough and long, and it's really from apples to oranges on there. So just to be able to read it all, I give you kudos for that.
Thank you, Eric. Deb Monroe.
Awesome. Amina, thank you so much. One thing I'd love to tell you is if you plan a slate, especially something like that was so fun. Thank you for doing that. Have fun with the mistake. Let the mistake be a part of it, because that can set you up for nerves at that point, right? I think I have much the same. I found that the first one was very mocking. So you were trying to mock a man versus trying to become where you think you could organically put to it. And like what was said, you can go one or two ways. You can mimic what was, or you can take on a new form. And so finding that range. I love the song in the Campbell's one. That was awesome. I did love the pep you put in the Sunbeam. I thought that was really fun. And I really liked that one. I love the great roll of your tongue in They're Great. I thought that was a nice transition or new version of that I love. And then you singing, and I know Ellie will love this as well. Just a really lovely version of the Coca-Cola thing. And I love your voice. Your singing voice is absolutely beautiful. I love the zebra. That's a Canadian spot, which was not American, just saying. It's a very famous spot here. And so I love that you played with that. I thought that was great. So really nice job. Thank you. And great job on the flat.
Thank you, Deb.
Amina, listen, you are a superstar. You have got the voice that melts my soul with your British tones. When you move away from that to go to your American sound in the Frosted Flakes, they're great. You went to that great pull away. I would have suggested you do it with the Canadian sound. You were still British with your accent for the Canadian. And these are all iconic. You can research them all. They're all on there. You can hear them. You can listen to them. You can see the variety in rhythm, tone, pitch, speed, volume, emotion, musicality. I love your singing. I love that you did the tag singing. I loved some of your switch ups with much more. Find the climax in the overall spot. I feel that, like a few of the people have said, you maintained, you were holding on. And I feel because you stumbled, it set the tone for you. Screw it, man. You're already a winner. You're here because you're good. You don't let those nerves get in the way of how you play. Just, find that climax. You're racing towards the end. All of these are building up. It's structured in a way, beginning, middle, end. Just have a bit more fun building to that climax and let it out, because when you sang, you showed me that you can express. So there you go. I loved it.
Thank
Awesome,
you, Ellie.
Amina.
That was Amina. Yeah.
Hey.
This ain't gonna be easy. All right, so coming up next, we're going to feature Michael Badgley. Mike Badgley is not only a voice actor in New York City, he's also a scientist. Ooh, a scientist. Mike continues to explore the intersection of art and science with enthusiasm. He is fascinated with the power of the human voice to educate, inspire, and move the listener. Mike has had the pleasure of working on mobile games, audio dramas, e-learning projects, and commercials, and he looks forward to honing his craft through experimentation. Hey, Mike, you're on the air.
Ow.
Stand by, Mike. Stand by. We're going to air. I'm just waiting for the thumbs up to take you to the air now. You're on.
Booyah.
That's my cue to talk, right?
Yeah, baby.
Okay. Hey, my name is Mike Badgley, and I'm over here in New York City. And if you hear the baleful wails of children or an ambulance, it's just the city, I swear.
Have some fun, Michael, whenever you're ready.
Sure
Go
thing.
for it, babe.
Advertising makes the world go round. Over 12 decades and growing strong. Budweiser, the king of beer. Da-da-da-da-dun-dun. Maxwell House Coffee. Good to the last drop. Campbell's Soup. Good. Everybody needs the kind of zip and zing pep that Sunbeam bread gives you. There's nothing like Sunbeam energy to help you stay on the beam. Kentucky Fried Chicken. Finger licking good. They're great! Frosted Flakes. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Well, I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. That's the song I sing. Just do it. Nike. Here's to the crazy ones. The misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, The ones that don't fit inside the box. Apple. Think different. Hey, I don't live in an igloo or eat blubber or own a dog sled. I have a prime minister, not a president. Oh, and it's pronounced Zed, not Z, Zed. Canada is the second largest landmass, the first nation of hockey, and the best part of North America. My name is Mike, and I am Canadian. Eh? Molson. Move the way you want. Uber. Staples. That was easy. Voices past and present. Firing up the microphone. Hear them all. Closing credits. Educate your way into the future.
There we go.
Ow!
Wow.
Michael
Wow, wow,
Cliff
wow, wow.
Zellman, you're up, sir.
Man, that was terrific. I love the way you stayed, with the originals. Love the finger looking good. You really dropped character on that one. That was all of them were really terrific. The 20s was great. Loved your singing. Crazy Ones, Misfits. I think that's the first time I've ever heard a Canadian holler. Nice, angry Canadian. I like that. Not something we get every day. So thank you for sharing that with us. Overall, I thought it was great. I thought each one was very different. You played them very different, but you didn't do it in like a Robin Williams kind of crazy different. You, as an engineer, you gave me time to cut for each one, which was nice. So I thought it was terrific. I thought you did a great job. Great characters and great ownership, top to bottom. So huzzah. I think you did terrific. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cliff. Eric?
No, it was good. It was a slow burn for sure. In the beginning, I was like, ugh. I wasn't crazy about your pacing. And then I think the pauses were like a bit too much. And then you were just getting better and better. And then by the time it was like Molson, you were just killing it. So you're like kind of a slow burn kind of guy, it seems, which is, fairly common. When you're doing you've got a very everyman type of sound, the guy next door, whatever, doesn't sound like a voiceover guy, which is, super hot nowadays. Yeah, it was good. Tony the Tiger was pretty good too. Thurl would be proud. That was, it was, again, this is a tough one. But you got better over time, man, and you got better quick. So good on you.
Deb?
Awesome, Michael. Thank you so much. I it's interesting because I see it a little differently. I love that you took time between, because I think it's very hard to switch if you're going to do more of a mockery of the actual spot. What I love is you did your homework. I could tell you did your homework, you researched, you did each of these things. And to be honest, the Canadian one was one of my favorites. Those of you that are not from Canada probably don't know this spot. And this spot was very big like that. It was very grand like that. And you just brought me back there. It was such a brilliant ad. And I thought you did a really nice job on that. I loved how you changed up and kept your signature. So your signature was in everything, but yet you changed it enough so that it had some organicness to the original, but yet you heard Michael in there. I loved when you did your delivery on Apple. I loved how natural you got, and then you got really realistic on the next one. Really nice flat. Loved your close on that. I would have only suggested at the end when it's your own, when you're doing your own thing that's not a mimic of something else. I would have liked to heard maybe just a bit more personality there of who I'm working with that way, because I've heard all these different personalities out of them now. So just getting that signature at the end. That's it for me.
Right to Ellie Ray.
Yeah, I think you're phenomenal. I think this is great. I wrote the script. I know it's a killer, but I also researched every single one of them, and you were on point with the energy, the tone, the rhythm, the pitch. Like some of them don't like those pauses in between because they become the same every single time. So unlike Cliff, who needs it for edits, I'd love you to grab the top end. It's great, but not that you want, because then I get to anticipate when you're going to switch. But other than that, man, I am Canadian, and it wasn't just a Canadian spot. It was international. It was a world spot that won awards internationally. And I know the guy who voiced it, who had given up voicing, and he said, this is too hard. I can't do it. And I said, stick with it. You're going to get a huge campaign. And it changed his life. He became a multi-millionaire because of that spot. And you did it wonderfully. And you went to flat, and you went to bright, and you went to gravel, and you went to singing, and you did all the things tonally switching that I loved. And you're great. Fuck you.
Thanks, Ellie. Now it's time for Lobster Boy, JMC.
Well, let me approach it just from the angle of what's going to get you hired in 2023. And what I love about your sound is that you do have this very real conversational, current, extemporaneous stream of consciousness thing that's going on that's very natural and believable and relatable. And I got that from the moment that you opened your mouth before you went into the old school announcer thing. That was immediately evident from your slate and from the top. And you carried that through on the spots where it was appropriate. I love the singing. Thought that was really good. The crazy ones, which is such a cliche script, but if you nail it, you nail it. You nailed it. That was nice. I like the Tony the Tiger too. Mildest constructive criticism would be the four early announcers, 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s. Those kind of blended together a little bit for me, and I could have used some more differentiation there. But what was clear and what impressed me was that you did your research, and clearly you had looked for what these things were supposed to be, and then gave your best version of that. Well done.
Thank you, JMC.
Thank you
Oh,
all.
Michael.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.
Hi!
Our next contestant is making their way to the booth.
Oh.
We're going to hear now from Beth Pierce. Yep, we got her there. She's walking through the door. I can see her. She's
so
smiling. She's got a fantastic look about her because she is Beth Pierce.
Woo! Yeah, there she is. Awesome.
Let me tell you about Beth then. Beth is an 18-year-old aspiring voice actress and 2021 UVOS contestant who brings her colorful personality to the mic. Beth is a content creator on TikTok with over 1 million views for her theater and voiceover content. She also runs her own company where she volunteers as princesses for parties. I love that. Beth is super excited to be back and to journey into the world of voiceover. Beth, it's time to wow!
Woo! Yay!
Thank you. Hi, I'm Beth. I'm from Nashua, New Hampshire. I'm 18 years old and I'm super excited to be here. Thank you guys so much.
Have
Go
fun,
for
little
it, Beth.
princess.
We love you.
Awesome. Advertising makes the world go round. Over 12 decades and growing stronger. Budweiser, king of beer. Maxwell House Coffee, good to the last drop. Campbell's soup, good. Everybody needs the kind of sip and zing pep that Sunbeam bread gives you. There's nothing like Sunbeam energy to help you stay on the beam. Kentucky Fried Chicken, finger licking good. I like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. And that's the song I sing. Just do it, Nike. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the ones that don't fit inside the box. Apple, think different. Hey, I don't live in an igloo or eat blubber or own a dog sled. I have a prime minister, not a president. It is pronounced Zed, not C, Zed. Canada is the second largest landmass, the first nation of hockey, and the best part of North America. My name is Beth Pierce, and I am Canadian. Eh? Molson. Move the way you want. Uber. Staples. That was easy. Voices past and present, firing up the microphone. Hear them all. Closing credits. Educate your way into the future.
Well,
Wow.
this gentleman's no dog, but he is a shepherd. Here is Eric Shepherd.
Really? So,
Oh, Boo, get out. Nah.
so you like young and cute, got it. So I wasn't expecting like a huge range, just because you got the young cute thing and whatever. Like we're not like you're not gonna go off on like these huge things. But you really made them you. You didn't go off all over the place. You kind of internalized all of these different tags and you put your own stamp on them and you made them young and fun and you went for it. You didn't really hold back a lot. And you just seem like a lot of fun to work with. So, I don't know if this is the type of spot where you go, hey, this is the perfect person to cast in something like, like this big cast of characters type of thing. But you, again, you made it your own, and I heard you came through and who you are, and you seem like a lot of fun.
Thank you, Deb and Roe.
Awesome, Beth. You're such a personality. I just love your voice, your tone, your texture. But to have this kind of confidence at your age, you're 18, and I mean, just listen to your intro, just the stuff that you're doing on your own. You are going to be somebody. You already are, don't get me wrong, but we are all going to know your name. I just know that. I love the Campbell soup one. That one was so adorable. I felt the first two were just a bit the same. There wasn't much difference for me, so I wasn't quite there with you, even though I love your voice. The KFC, the little accent you put on, was totally adorable. Good job on that. Really nice job on the song. You kind of play with it in your own little way, made it really cute and yet really pleasant to listen to as well. I thought you did a really nice job. Your Nike was awesome. That was really great to hear in that range. It's a new range for me with you, and so I really love that. And then your Apple was on point. I thought it was good for you. Again, that texture and tone you have just stands out so much. And then the A in the Canadian spot. We're converting people, Ellie. We're converting all of you to Canadians, just saying honorary. I just can't talk about your texture, tone, and your voice and your age enough. I think you're just amazing, Beth.
Just for the free healthcare. Ellie.
Hi, I love that crackle, man. You have texture in your voice at such a young age, and you were with us last year, so you're obviously a superstar anyway. You're already a winner. It doesn't matter to me. I love that you brought in sensual tones in a variety of rhythm, as well as that cute thing, which sent me a little over the edge, because I know that you're 18 and you kind of dropped into that husky a couple of times where I went, whoa, okay, that's doing it for me. You did a Christopher Walken kind of wild rhythm on the Canadian spot, which I dug a lot. It was that really cute sound that juxtaposed with the sassy and the sensual that I really loved. You're very theatrical. You're very creative. Your voice is unique unto itself. That little bit of crack that you got is worth its weight in gold. I think you're fabulous.
Thank you, Ellie. The crustacean killer, JMC.
I like your sound a lot, Beth. I think, you've got a vibe that's very good for where the market is today in commercial. Air, when you're auditioning, I think on the side of the more chill version of that, as opposed to over sunshine and over bright. But on the whole, I heard a lot of nice things in there. Love the Canadian thing was my favorite, because that's the one where it sounded like you were the most connected to the copy and that you were really engaged with it. This was something that you seemed to care about and personalize. So that was very, very nice. I think the song was pretty good also. And the crazy ones also. You might have got to where you were indulging the play almost a little too much at the end of the crazy ones. I thought it started out really well, and then it felt like you were trying just a little too hard towards the end of it. So once you've established that, you can almost back off of it a little bit. We don't want to. One of the things we want to be careful not to be right now in the current marketplace is overly deliberate or intentional. And once you've kind of established, hey, I got this fun thing going on, you can back it off just a little bit. But overall, yeah, I mean, I like you a lot, and.
Thank you, JMC. Mr. Picker, Cliff Zelman.
Beth, you had me at good. That was, I would have stopped the competition right there. When you fit the actual subject of within the spots, I think you absolutely nailed it. King of Beers, I don't know, 16-year-old, 15, 14, 12-year-old ain't gonna be drinking beers. Good to the last drop, coffee will stunt your growth. I think you were a good sport and did those, but when you found your spot that you definitely know, and we all heard it, it was gold. And you've got this voice that you could be voicing the 10-year-old boy for the next 40 years. Loved it. I thought it was great. I'd like to hear the Canadian and the crazy ones, Misfits, just kind of rolling a little quicker. These long pregnant pauses to add drama just seems a bit too much. Like Jay Michael said, you don't want to be overly deliberate. But overall, man, when you did that, good. And talking about bread and PB&J, and I could hear it. Well done. Good job. I'm a fan.
PP. I heard PP.
PB&J.
That's what I heard. I heard PB&J myself.
PB&J.
Love you.
Well, we've got to welcome our next contestant into the room. And I'm trying to, I think I know the pronunciation because, I got, Deb rode me like a horse on this one.
Oh my gosh.
Let me tell you who that is. Our next contestant is George Novick. When he turns up, if he doesn't turn up, there he is. He's
Turn
in the
it up.
room. He's getting pushed into the room. He's slowly walking in.
Turn
The
it up.
store is pretty heavy. Sorry about that, George. And Storm's about to give me the little. Yeah. I'm just singing along with Ellie Ray. She's okay.
Baby, do your thing. Dance.
Because I was
dance,
born on the bayou, baby, and that's what I know.
Dance, my monkey friend. We're at the circus.
All right, our next contestant is George Novick, bringing spoken life to the written word is his passion. A voiceover artist for over 15 years now, voicing intense characters for games, flash animation, and independent movies. Fast forward to now, taking great pleasure in providing engaging and emphatic narrations, I love that, and emphatic narrations for all types of projects, medical, corporate, e-learning, commercial, video games, and they're just a few examples. Here he is, George Novick.
Oh.
Hello,
Yeah,
thank you so
baby.
much, Mr. Mike. I'd like to thank you personally for getting my name right for the first time in like 30 years, and apologies to Cliff Zellman for not getting the hairstyle memo. Perfect. All right, here we go. Advertising makes the world go round. Over 12 decades and going strong. To the radio. Budweiser, the king of beer. Nothing tastes quite like a cup of Maxwell House iced coffee. Maxwell House coffee, good to the last drop. Campbell soups are good. Everybody needs the kind of zip and zing pep that Hopalong Cassidy's favorite Sunbeam bread gives you. There's nothing like Sunbeam energy to help you stay on the beam. And we hope that you'll try my Kentucky Fried Chicken because my chicken's the only chicken that's finger-licking good. Frosted Flakes have the taste kids have grown to love. They're great! I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I like to buy the world a Coke, keep it company. That's the song that I sing. Just do it! Nike. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the ones that don't fit inside the box. Apple, think different. Hey, I don't live in an igloo or eat blubber or own a dog sled. I have a prime minister, not president, and it's pronounced Zed, not Z, Zed. Crying out loud. Canada is the second largest landmass, the first nation of hockey, and the best part of North America. Je m'appelle Guy, and I am Québécois, eh, mon son? Move the way you want. Uber. Staples, that was easy. Voices past and present, firing up the microphone. Hear them all. Brought to you by Closing Credits. Educate your way into the future.
Yay!
Yeah. Well, when they say DM me, that means Deb Monroe me. You're up.
Hey, that's a good one. George, I love your personality, your humor, you have a beautiful warmth and texture in your voice, which I love. Right at the opening is where you really grabbed me there. The effects were great, really nice transitions. It really helped move it along nicely. I thought you took just enough time between each thing. Loved your mimics. I thought you mimicked them so well. Campbell's was so funny and you added your own thing to it. Love that. I like that you're ad-libbing a little bit of stuff to get into the spot. I think that's good. They were just very slight, but they were authentic to the actual creations. The song was great. Was that Mr. Mike playing, I was thinking, or something? I love that you let go. You're not afraid to play. You're just a total confident performer, and I think you belong here in the best of way. Nike was brilliant. I love that choice. It was completely different than what I would expected, and so I like that it took me there. For Apple, I found you sounded angry. You just sounded kind of angry through that. And I don't think that was your intention, but it came across angry to me. Love the accent on the Canadian one. And you added your own little character that added in there. That was brilliant. Staples, I would love to request just a little less is more from you. That's what I'd like to hear, is your less is more side, not just your more is more, because I have a feeling you're a fun, crazy character that does lots of stuff that give a lot. But the less is more, I think, is important there as well. Really nice job, George. You're fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Ellie Ray.
George, you're fantastic, man. What I love about you is risk, because love, joy, and risk is what play is, and we want people to play. Did you go too far in some little moments? In my opinion, no, but for many in the business, they would say yes. So I say, that's a directorial thing. I could pull it back. I want the more, so I know where you can get to should you require it. And I'm all about gushing and eventful speak rather than the sort of I hear dead people talking speak. I thought you had great character. I thought you took great risks. I loved your embellishments. I would have pulled back maybe a little bit on them if I was directing these spots. But I totally loved everything you did. And it's the risk for me that I think is creative. When you stand outside of something, you take risks, and you did, and it paid off for me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
You betcha.
that.
JMC.
I'd love to spend a minute giving you a deep, detailed analysis to make myself look intelligent, but bottom line is you're a performer. You came to put on a show. You nailed it, and I wouldn't want to audition against you.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you so much.
Cliff Selman.
Yeah, boy, I'm gonna echo the other three. I will say I loved, and no one's mentioned it yet, but I loved the changing dials between. I thought that was terrific. I thought there wasn't a dull moment. I like that a lot. Yeah, I did hear a little bit of anger in the Apple one as well. And again, I loved the just do it. I'm thinking, a little bit outside, or kind of a lot outside, but man, that's when the goods are found, when you really are bold and brave, and you just go out there and say, you know what, I'm just going to give you this one. So, and then we can always discuss it later. But overall, I thought your characters were great. I would have liked your opening VO and your closing VO. Don't jump on me, everybody, to be a little bit more announcery, a little bit more very atypical advertising makes, like the old, Stan Freberg type of delivery. I'm giving my age here now. But I loved your embellishments, and you made it a lot of fun, and you made it different. So bravo. Good job. Really
Thank you so
enjoyed it
much.
a lot. Thank you.
Eric.
Yeah, to echo, it was a lot of fun. You had your cute little tricks and stuff. I don't know if we were pretending that this is like a live, audition for an actual spot. I don't know if any of that's actually usable. But it's enough to maybe get you the audition, because somebody might think, you know what, that set him apart. This guy really goes for it. Now we're going to rein him in, and we're going to, actually hone this and turn this into something, that's usable. But at least we know that he's not afraid to, shoot for the stars and be a little wacky and whatever. So they'd say that was a lot of fun. You seem like fun. Next time, let's quit it with the radio stuff, and let's, pay a little more attention here and pull it back here and whatever. But that kind of showboating, again, a lot of times, that's enough just to get you the gig, just to get your foot in the door, because they know that you're not afraid to look like a buffoon.
I excel at that, let me tell you.
Me too.
From one buffoon to another.
Okay, before we get to our next contestant who's making their way to the room, I just want to switch over and say, the red rose whispers of passion, and the white rose breathes of love. Oh, the red rose is a falcon, and the white rose is a dove. But I send you a cream white rosebud, with a flush on its petal tips, for the love that is purest and sweetest.
Somebody's in the room.
Of desire on her lips. And of course, I'm introducing the lovely Erin Neal.
Woo!
And for Erin Neal, it's a call that can't be ignored, to call to create. And Erin has been following that call since she was a wee sprite, a wee one. Hours spent turning scraps into pieces of magic and weaving stories for herself and anyone with an open ear. That call, this call, has led Erin into the vast world of voiceover. Finding plenty of room to create, she has found fulfillment in animation, video games, commercials, and corporate narration, to name a few. Not one to sit still, Erin endeavors to explore all the facets the industry has to offer. Erin, come on and just do it.
Hey.
Hello, hello.
Go for it.
Hey, baby
Hey,
girl.
Hey, I'm Erin Neal, ready to speak just a little magic?
Do it.
Ready when you are.
Advertising makes the world go round. Over 12 decades and growing strong. Budweiser, the king of beer. Maxwell House Coffee, good to the last drop. Campbell's Soup, good. Everybody needs the kind of zip and zing pep that Sunbeam bread gives you. There's nothing like Sunbeam energy to help you stay on the beam. Kentucky Fried Chicken, finger-licking good. They're great! Frosted Flakes. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. That's the song I sing. Just do it. Nike. Here's to the crazy ones. The misfits. The rebels. The troublemakers. The ones that don't fit inside the box. Apple. Think different. Hey, I don't live in an igloo or eat blubber or own a dog sled. I have a prime minister, not a president, and it's pronounced Zed, not Z. Zed. Canada is the second largest landmass, the first nation of hockey, and the best part of North America. My name is Erin, and I am Canadian, eh? Molson. Move the way you want. Uber. Staples. That was easy. Voices past and present, firing up the microphone. Hear them all. Closing credits. Educate your way into the future. Yay!
Awesome. Awesome.
Well, he's the star of My Little Pony. Here's Ellie Ray.
Oh my God. Okay, never mind you. Okay, call to create. That's what I love about you, Erin. You're so great. You're so current. You've got a sound that is gonna, win you big time, my friend. You've got great things going on. Scraps and little pieces of magic, which was in your intro. Yes, little pieces of magic for sure. I loved your sensual sound when you drop out of your bright current sound. I just loved it. And then you went to a pure full-on sexy sound right out of the sensual. You kept it pretty. You moved your status around a lot. I love that. I thought you could have gone a little bit brighter on the 40 spot for me. Just about the Sunbeam brand. There's a tonal quality that happens back in the 40s that you might want to look at and just give a listen to, because it's got a very sort of nasal at the back of the throat sound feel. I thought that, you got a bit angry on, I think it was Nike, and I don't mind that. I find when you're working out, it makes you angry. So I kind of love that you went angry with Nike. It's like, get off me. I don't want to sweat. Makes me angry and my pheromones come out. Bright opinion. I think that you've got it in spades, my friend.
Thank you,
You're
Ellie.
singing and everything.
Here's J. Michael Seafood.
I'm gonna get you one of these days. Anytime I'm forced to move, I get angry, but I digress. Erin, a couple of split notes on this. First, something about this script and this competition makes me crave a little bit the madness that we heard from George or Michael earlier. But my takeaway from you is that you're the most hireable voice I think I've heard so far, because your vocal profile and your delivery fits very much with where the market is right now. And I think that you just kind of leaned into that from top to bottom on this a lot. You did show some range. I heard some warmth in there. I heard some luscious notes you could sing, and there was some good energy. So all of those lovely things. You have a sound that what you gave us there is something that is real world hireable, and that's cool. I'm just, with the wackiness of what this is, I might have wanted a little more performance, but that's a soft criticism.
Thank you, sir. Cliff Zellman.
Well, it's tough going after JMC especially with this one. I agree, almost straight across the board. First thing I thought of is that your voice is recognizable. It's current. The minute you open your mouth, I felt like I knew you. So as far as a hireable voice, yeah, I'm in agreement. It's extremely hireable. I would like to have heard a little more variation, not much. On the Canadian spot, I thought it was a little bit disjointed. If we look at this script, it's basically a laundry list. You've got Igloo, Blubber, Prime Minister, President, this, and this. And it's a list of things. And I didn't really get that from a comparative. We've got comparing this to comparing this. Overall, I thought your singing was fabulous. And it's funny, everybody so far that has sung it has been in the same key. So that's kind of cool. Again, a really marketable, recognizable, I know you, I'm comfortable listening to you, and I trust your voice. Thought you did a great job. Congratulations.
Thank you, Cliff. He's a Viking. Here's Eric Shepard.
Yeah, a little bit, more of the same. I like to make snap judgments. Right off from the beginning, even just from your slate, I was thinking that she sounds friendly. She's got a very friendly type of vibe, and I think you brought that into most of the stuff in the beginning. It carried over. It had a very friendly, welcoming type of sound, which is good. Uber was like sexy for some reason. I don't know. Coke was a standout for me. I think that changed the tone of where you were going. You kind of paused at the end too, and changed it up, and I like that a lot. You struck me as having actors' instincts, good body language. I like the way that you interpreted a lot of the copy. Even if it kind of came across a little bit flat, I could see where you were coming from. I could see visually where you were coming from, which is not necessarily the format that we work in. But I knew where you were coming from, and I knew what you were trying to do, and I think you did it.
Awesome, Aaron.
Thank you.
So Aaron, I loved,
Deb.
sorry, Mr. Mike. Thank you. Thank you.
You're up.
So I loved your confidence. You have a really nice confidence that you belong here. There's no question. For me, I think you go in between two different vocals. One is a very beautiful, natural place to be in your voice that everybody's in love with, and then you go into the sultry range that Ellie hit on. I heard it especially. I love the intimacy on Maxwell House, but then you kind of did it on KFC where it's finger licking good, and that becomes very sexual instead. So I would just warn you to take heed that you have a sensual tone. That sensual tone is good, and you probably already know this, but be careful when you do it and when you don't. Have a good idea of what that can come across, because it's so beautifully sensual. That can be a best friend, and it can also be an enemy. You have this beautiful hug in your voice. You just feel like you're hugging us, and I absolutely adore that. Singing was great. I love the Nike spot. I just loved it. Ellie heard angry, and I loved it. I loved how believable you were in the apple. That was probably one of my favorites for you. I just thought you were so genuine in that. And I like that you changed up your energy and pace in the Canadian spot, because you started off kind of slow in it, and then you really sped up, and the Uber was good. And I loved your tag out. I thought the close was wonderful. Good job.
Thank you, Deb. And thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
And
Love
I could
you.
do the Space Car bar again without going crazy. I kind of have a sexy voice too.
Yeah, kind
Right.
of.
We are halfway through round one. So it's time to get your drinks, have a shot. Ellie, you're gonna down a tequila, I know it. Strap yourself in. Don't think about it, Eric. But first, here's a quick word from our sponsors.
Hello, and welcome to Voices.com, where all the greatest talents are located.
telling you, these two gals are really wild and crazy, volunteering their hearts out to bring you this incredible competition. So, just sit back and let's buy some advertising. Please join us and write comments in the chat and tell us who you would pick and help us choose our winner. Now, let's get back to the show. He's already in the room, so I guess I can go forward and tell you who he is. Coming up next, we have Ian Scarantino.
What's up?
Ooh, Ian. Ian is a music-loving mechanic with a passion for voices and being a bit of a spaz. I don't know what that means. I hope he doesn't drop a wrench or step on a spark plug while he's reading. Here he is, Ian Scarantino.
Woo!
What's going on, all you gals, guys, and non-binary identifieds? Crazy Ivan coming at you with commercial script. Advertising makes the world go round. Over 12 decades and growing strong. Budweiser, the king of beer. Maxwell House coffee, good to the last drop. Campbell's soup, good. Everybody needs a kind of zip and zing pep that Sunbeam bread gives you. There's nothing like Sunbeam energy to help you stay on the beam. Kentucky Fried Chicken, finger licking good. They're great. Frosted Flakes, I'd like to teach the world to sing. In perfect harmony, I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. That's the song I sing. Just do it, Nike. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the ones that don't fit inside the box. Apple, think different. Hey, I don't live in an igloo, or eat blubber, or own a dog sled. I have a prime minister, not a president, and it's pronounced Zed, not Z. Zed! Canada is the second largest landmass, the first nation of hockey, in the best part of North America. My name is Ivan, and I am a Canadian, eh? Molson. Move the way you want. Uber. Staples. That was easy. Voices past and present, firing up the microphone. Hear them all. Closing credits. Educate your way into the future.
Top of the batting order, here's JMC to give you a little critiqueing.
Well, Ian, thank you for being here. Once again, somebody with a great set of pipes, so it's a pleasure to listen to you. You're barking up the right tree. I found this a little rushed overall. It felt like it had a bit of a blend together for me. There were a couple of places where you jumped into something different and stood out. The Sunbeam one in particular grabbed me, and that was fun. But it just felt like each individual one could have used a little bit more specific attention on it. It just felt like you were kind of in a hurry to get to the end for me on this one. I think there's a little bit of a tendency to err on the side of big and slightly over the top, and some of it came across as a little over-announcery. But again, I mean, it's hard to throw a critique out there like that because I hear the underlying talent and I hear the vocal quality, which is great. It just felt like you were in a little bit of a hurry tonight.
Thank you, JMC. The voiceover spellman, Cliff Zellman.
Hey there. Hey, Ian. Thank you. Great voice. I think that I didn't really hear anything different until Sunbeam came in. I thought some of it was samey. As far as rushing through it, I kind of got that as well. It sounded to me that you really wanted to get the Coke song over as quickly as possible. I don't want to spend any time on this. Change it up a little bit, staying very close to the original is good because these are all very different from each other. Or like I said earlier, going off on that Robin Williams kind of this, and then you do this, and then you do this. Kind of maybe one or the other. Break it up a little bit more. But overall, very, very good job. And yeah, give each one its own face and its own place. But overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good.
Thank you, Cliff. Eric.
This was very charactery all around, kind of from beginning to end, and I'm not sure if I know who you are. where that, where you were kind of lost. It started off, it was already kind of fake, and maybe you were trying to get into that like time period. But then it seems to be kind of character-y type of stuff. I don't know where you were at with Staples. But then Apple, I heard you. And I liked it. I liked your read. I liked your sound. I liked that. To me, was the standout of the whole thing. Otherwise, it seemed like you were kind of trying to cram in some like character work where I'm not sure if it exactly belonged or not. It was one way to do it.
Thank you, Eric. Deb.
Hi, Ian. Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to be repetitive, but the speed, I think, got you. And I think that happens for us a lot. We get into the audition and we're excited to be there. And I think you did make actually all these choices they were looking for. I just think because it went so fast, one ended up bleeding through to another. And I think that's what happened for you. In fact, I started writing down notes and I'm like, so fast, I can't write notes. Like it was so fast, I couldn't even write a note. And I think that's just an excitement. So I'm glad you were excited. And I think that was just what got you there. I love the KFC though. I thought that was really good. And I loved what you did with Grade. It was really fun and unique and different. Frosted Flakes, you did a sing on the Frosted Flakes. Love that. I thought that was a good ad there. I thought Coke was good, but it bled through in the next ones. And again, the only reason I think was because you were too fast. Your signature is throughout. But I think I agree very much. I think your signature is just quite charactery. So it became very charactery throughout. And I think that is something to work on a little bit that way. I love the passion you had in the Canadian spot, though. It was so passionate and driven. And I was there with you on that one. Your range is decent, but you had some aggressive moments. So just watch that. Again, I think the speed was the reason.
Thank you, Deb. Enjoying her second buzz. Here's Ellie.
Hey, I loved a lot of this, Ian. I'm not of the mind of many of the others. I do find that it was fast, but I find when you can incorporate speed and switching, it's just because you're nervous. So what it said to me was you were moving like a freight train because your energy was already sitting backstage waiting and you were shitting the bed with your energy because it was all coming out. And so I loved a lot of the character work. And I thought there was character work on the I Am Canadian. You sang at the end of Maxwell House. You sang at the end of Tony the Tiger. You did a flat read on Nike. You did Apple Was Real. Yeah, the 40s Sunbeam guy came out to me, and I found that you found the angry climax for me overall. And then Staples was a character. It was a choice. These are choices we make as performers. I think it paid off for me, and all I heard was nerves, and it made you accelerate towards each one because you were anticipating what you wanted to do. I think you're fabulous.
Thank you, Ellie. And thank you, Ian. All right.
No angry climax joke, Mr. Mike? Come on.
Yeah, come on. I was so waiting for it.
Well, speaking of shitting the bed,
yeah.
let's go back to the Johnny Depp court case. Anyway.
Oh, I love that.
Where's our friend making their way to the booth?
Oh, they're coming. They're coming.
They're coming.
Walking slow, but being cautious and kind. She's ready to rock and roll. Her name is Janice Hunter.
Woo. Oh.
Our fabulous Jade is working behind the scenes to make the magic happen. She's giving me the thumbs up in 3, 2. Whoa, look at that. Janice was exposed to the arts at a young age. Her fond memories of attending performances at the historic Karamu Theater and Cleveland Playhouse left a lasting impression. How about this one? Hello. And love for the arts. Expecting to use her background in health sciences and medicine, medical narration voiceover was at the top of her list. That's pretty hard to do, trust me. Efficacy, efficacy, efficacy. After a few sessions with a dynamic animation coach, her interests widened. As a voice actor, Janice is ecstatic to have a platform where she is able to explore and express her creativity. Well, I can't wait for her to express herself right now. Here's Janice.
Woo! Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hey,
Janice?
Hey, Janice, have some fun, and thanks for playing with us.
Thank you. Yeah, advertising makes the world go round. Over 12 decades and growing strong. 1900s, Budweiser, the king of beer. 1920s, Maxwell House coffee. Good to the last drop. 1930s, Campbell's soup. Good. 1940s, everybody needs the kind of zip and zing pep that Sunbeam bread gives you. There's nothing like Sunbeam Energy to help you stay on the beam. 1950s Kentucky Fried Chicken, finger licking good. Ooh, the 60s, 1960s, they're great. Frosted Flakes. 1970s, I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. That's the song I sing. Yeah. 1980s, Just Do It, Nike. 1990s, here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the ones that don't fit inside the box. Apple, think different. 2000s, hey, I don't live in an igloo or eat blubber or own a dog sled. I have a prime minister, not a president, and it's pronounced Zed, not Z, Zed. Yeah, Canada is the second largest landmass, the first nation of hockey, and the best part of North America. My name is Janice Hunter, and I am Canadian. Molson. 2010s. Move the way you want. Uber. 2020s. Staples. That was easy. Voices past and present firing up the microphone. Hear them all. Closing credits. Educate your way into the future.
Thank you, Janice.
Paging Dr. Zellman. Paging Dr. Zellman.
I am here, stat. Hello, Janice. Nice voice, boy. I'll tell you what, I loved the character voice on Maxwell House Copy. That was the home run for me. Everything else was kind of, here's an example of a voice. Here's another example of a voice. I'm going to wing it with this one and that one. But you really zeroed in on the Maxwell House Coffee. I think that was absolutely gorgeous. Sounded a little bit same with the Kentucky Fried Chicken. You kind of had that same thing. Interesting that you sound like a Canadian that grew up in Georgia. But I think I see the Canadians smiling a little bit. I like the attempt. But I'll tell you, when you hit what you do with, I heard the confidence, and it's very short. It's just good to the last drop. But man, oh man, that was this is your voice. This is what you do. I thought it was a real good try. I thought that the reads were good. Your pace was good. I think a couple were a little miscast, but that's what's going to happen when you've got 12 completely different lines, from all over the country. But good job. And it was fun listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cliff. He's no Alan Shepard. Here's Eric Shepard.
I'm not Canadian, but I don't think it's I think you're going to have some pissed off Canucks with the Maxwell House, that for me was the standout. As a Campbell's I liked a lot. Sunbeam Apple, they didn't really do it for me. Overall, you have a comfort level. You feel, it seems to me like you feel like you belong there. You're comfortable on the mic. Not that there was too much time in between the tags here, but what was coming out of you then, and just overall was a comfort level that helps. It just was either kind of hit or miss on the tags.
Deb.
Awesome. I loved your opening. Really nice confidence. Way to come in. This is a daunting situation, and I thought you did great. I agree with everyone. What they love so much about the Maxwell is when you're intimate, you're just beautiful. Your intimacy is really nice. Really play with the microphone going in and out of that. It just brings me in. And then I remember what it was we loved so much about your audition, your isms, your little opinions, the little things that you add. That's what shines for me. So I was really glad to hear that in a lot of different spots there. I thought that was great. I crave them, to be be honest. You get a little rhythmic, like Sunbeam, for example, makes sense that it could be rhythmic. It's old, but watch your rhythm because you did it again at the end on the end tag. You've got a rhythm in there you might want to break. I wrote down the A was hilarious, so I wasn't offended at all. I just thought it was funny. I love hearing all these people trying the A because I just want you guys to know in the States you say huh the same way. You just say a different word. That's all. Apple was good. Hey. I love that on the Canadian spot. You had some real fun as much as it was Georgian. I love the Canadian spot. I thought that was a ton of fun. I love you, this person. I just think you're awesome. So good home for you.
I agree. I absolutely agree, Janice. You got it in spades. You are authentic. You have a voice that is, you allow your own opinion to come through, and you can mock yourself. What I love about it is you laughing when somebody has a kind of reaction, they take the piss out of themselves, and it authenticates you in a great way. And I found that happened with your warmth. You've got this, it's so authentic and unique. And I loved Maxwell as well. It became Italian when you're like, hey, you kind of Canadian. It made me laugh. I went, you're an Italian Canadian. It's so awesome. For me, the think different really landed it for me about who you are in the Apple spot. When you got to that, it was such a different rhythm and tone and kind of speed. You kind of sit inside and it kind of essential, you wear it in different ways. And I love that about you. You're not in a hurry. You're allowing yourself to shine through. And man, oh man, it paid off on so many levels for me. So good job. I just wouldn't announce the 1990s, 1920, because they were all the same. So what happens is it all becomes.
Thank you, Ellie. J. Michael Collins.
I really agree. I like what Deb said about the Canadian spot. I agree with her a lot. It was actually one of my favorite moments because you are distinctly not Canadian and you didn't shy away from that. You just decided to make it you, and you went for it. Big presence, big attitude, lots of fun, and you just did your own thing. You could have maybe even pushed it a little bit farther, but I like the fact that you just let it go and didn't try to fake it. And I thought that was great. You have a core warm sound that something with this many mechanical aspects in it is hard to give yourself room to differentiate on, but that warmth came through and everybody commented on it because it is a signature for you that you do really well. I think you have a sound again that the market likes right now, and that is hireable. And to me, that's in some ways more important than whether or not you nailed every single element on this piece of copy.
Thank you, JMC. Let me tell you about Canadians, eh? Like, I had a job there for a while at the lumberyard, then I got fired, eh? And I told the guy, I was a pilot, and the guy gave me a job at Air Canada. Then I got fired because I didn't know how to fly a plane. I told him I was a pilot. My buddy would cut the wood and I'd pilot. Anyway, screw it. You know what I'm saying? He's making his way to the room right now. He is Luke Gordon.
Hello. Gordon. Wow. Hi. Oh, yeah, he's coming.
10 seconds, yes.
He's coming away.
He's coming our way.
Yeah. And I'm reading that Luke Gordon says, find your voice. That is the challenge. Nah, find your voices. Hey, dude, words to live by. Oh, and by the way,
I am your father.
Bet you never heard that one before. Here he is, Luke Gordon.
That is a first. Thank you so much.
Yeah, excellent.
I'm just going to go right into it. You see,
do it. Go for it, babe.
It's impossible to do that if people interrupt me. Please stop. No, seriously, I'm only kidding around. No. And 1, 2, 3 is 4, and here we go. You know, for over 12 decades, 120 years, advertising has made the world go round. And still it grows strong because, you see, it was easy, and that's what Staples taught us in 2020. But if we work backwards, well, we learned to move the way that we wanted, which is thank you to Uber in 2010. Moving a little further beyond, let's start at the beginning, shall we? It was the turn of the 20th century when Budweiser became the king of beers, which was good to the last drop, but Maxwell House Coffee coined that phrase in the 20s, which was good. Thank you to Campbell Soup in the 1930s. But you see, everybody needs sort of a zip in his ink type pep that Sunbeam in the 40s could only provide. For there was nothing like Sunbeam energy to help those people stay on the beam, which was finger-licking good, because Kentucky Fried Chicken showed us that in the 50s, you see, which was, well, they are great, you'd hear Frosted Flakes say, 1960s. But I have always wanted to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world Coca-Cola and keep it company. And that's the song that I'd like to sing, which I was taught by Coca-Cola in the 1970s. Just do it, said Nike, 1980. And here's to those crazy ones, those misfits, those rebels, those troublemakers, the ones that never fit inside the box, the ones that think different, as Apple showed us in the 1990s. But look, I don't live in an igloo, nor have I ever eaten blubber. I don't own a dog sled. Why, I have a prime minister, not a president, and it's pronounced Z, not Z. For Canada is the second largest landmass on the planet. It is the very first nation of hockey, and it is, as we all know, the very best part of North America, and my name is me. For I'm Canadian, eh? Thank you to the Molson family and Y2K showing us that in 2000. But once again, we were shown that we move the way we want by Uber. And so, voice is peasant and voice is past. Why, they fire up all the microphones you see, and you can hear each and every one. And it's your choice if you want to educate your way into the future.
Thank you, Luke. Here is Eric Shepard.
Dude, I knew you were going to chew the scenery, man. But you deconstructed the whole thing and put it back together, which is balls. That's super balls, man. And is that a smart choice? Man, I don't know. In some instances, these people write this stuff and they think this toilet paper commercial that they came up with is like, prize winning bullshit. And they're in love with it, and every word is so important. And then this thing had to go back to legal like 87 times to tweak this thing. And they don't like, when you ad lib once or twice, and you made the whole thing an ad lib.
No, what I did, no, I don't mean to interrupt you. All I did was make sense of the copy.
Well, you make your sense, but that's not your call. Your name's not at the top of the check. The client's name is. And then you did the whole thing in this kind of character thing, which again, balls. That's super ballsy. You made a choice, but that's probably not what they had in mind. And it's certainly not what they would have had in mind the whole time. So I think, in a situation like this, you would have come in, they would have said, wow, that was, bold choices. And then they would have cast somebody else because
Except the thing is, I don't mean to be rude.
Big choices. Hold on. You made big choices, but those are choices that you would have to live with.
Yeah, fair enough. And those are the choices that I did live with, and no one's actually hired me to do it. And this is why I'm here now, to fuck around. No, sorry, to play around with it. My apologies, I shouldn't have sworn. Nothing combative. I understand what you're saying.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sorry.
Okay, so I totally get what he's saying. Here's the thing: I'm learning about you that you're always someone different. You're never. I don't even know the actual real you. I think I've heard it a couple times in rehearsals and stuff. Your voice narrator. I love that you chose a storyline to make sense of it. I think that's a bold choice, and I don't mind that choice at all. However, I was lost in the beginning, but I get what you did. The 1, 2, 3, 4 opening was so funny. I love that start. But let me tell you, I want to talk about your narrator. You have this right in the very beginning. You had this beautiful, intimate moment, and I was just your voice. You can't not listen to. You have to listen to you. You remind me of a David Attenborough, where you have this really unique shtick that you're bringing into everything. So you chose to kind of be you within it and make sense of all the scripts. And I totally get that. I don't disagree with Eric. I don't know that the client would or not, and we're the client in this case, and we might absolutely love that. However, it is a choice that we make. I love that you have fun. I think you're a storyteller in the most deepest of ways. I think that I love that you take risks. I love your 1990s spot the most. You really make us listen, but at the end you missed the sponsor. That's not a good thing.
She's not Spanish, but she is El Rey.
It's all about risk for me. Whether it pays off or not, that doesn't matter to you because you're there to play, and we audition every day and we don't always get the parts, and they say screw off. And it doesn't matter. If you're having fun and you're doing your thing and you hope that it lands, that's where you're going to live. I found the disconstruction. I was like, oh, it's so much better than what I wrote. What happens with the narrator and saying 1900s, 1920s, what you did was you gave the unspoken narrative aloud, which gave it a glue and a through line that actually created a story rather than a commercial, which was just as we've been going through single lines, and people are having a hard time transitioning. I didn't hear any problems with transitioning. So I was like, wow, I'm engaged, I'm listening. But as you say, is it what's written there? No. Does it matter? No, because it was the risk you took to choose what you chose. And it was enjoyable. I listened to everything. I thought it was clever. Goodbye. Screw off.
Thank you, Ellie. JMC.
Luke, I'm gonna throw a little hard reality at you. I cast people from time to time, not certainly to the extent that Eric does. But when I heard your read, my instinct was I'd love for this guy to narrate my life story. I liked you a lot. And then when I heard you argue with an agent giving you feedback, I decided I probably wouldn't cast you in the future. It's pick your moments, man. Okay, because you've got a ton of talent, but you got to check your ego at the door a little bit.
Copy that. And Eric, my apologies.
Thank you. Thank you,
People argue with me.
We're all having fun.
Cliff Zellman.
Hey, Luke. I sounded like, to me, it sounded like I was listening to a TED Talk, which is not bad. You told me a story. You educated me. This was more to me about education than entertainment. I thought you had a beautiful voice. I think what you did and the route you chose is not an audition. I think this is something that I would ask you after I hired you. You read the script, you kill it, you nail it, you do a great job, we fall in love with you. Then us guys on the other side of the glass say, you know what? What's your take on it? We hear that you're eclectic. We hear that you're very intelligent and that you can ad lib and do so. Give us your spin, but I think your spin comes after the audition. But as far as a narrator, man, I could listen to you all a lot. And when you're done with Jay Michael's life story, can I be set? I thought it was very enjoyable, and it was very different from what we've heard before, and that made it fun. So
thank you, Cliff.
Excellent.
Thank you, Luke.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, we got to swap out voiceovers. It takes a few seconds for those of you at home having fun with the Ultimate VO Survivor Take 3. We're counting them down. And next in the room is coming up. It's going to be Luke Aller.
Woo, holler for holler.
It's one of my favorite Canadian songs. Luke Aller. That's from Randy Bachman and the kids. Those of you who play would know. 3, 2, 1. Luke's just a simple boy who watched way too many cartoons as a kid. He says,
I was screaming along with my favorite anime characters powering up, looking at you, SSJ3 Goku. Nothing has given me more enjoyment than those cartoons and characters, and I can't even begin to say how much I love being some of those characters. It's a mother-loving dream come true.
Okay, well then, time to holler, Luke Goller.
What?
Holla!
Howdy doody. Let's
Hey.
let's get to it, shall we?
Let's get to it, my friend. Have fun.
Advertising makes the world go round. Over 12 decades and growing strong. Budweiser, the king of beer. Maxwell House coffee, good to the last drop. Campbell's soup, good. Everybody needs that kind of zip and zing pep that Sunbeam bread gives you. There's nothing like Sunbeam energy to help you stay on the beam. Kentucky Fried Chicken, finger licking good. They're great. Frosted Flakes. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. Well, that's the song I sing. Just do it. Nike. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the ones that don't fit inside the box. Apple. Think different. Hey, I don't live in an igloo or eat blubber or own a dog sled. I have a prime minister, not a president. And it's pronounced Zed, not Z. Zed. Look, Canada is the second largest landmass, the first nation of hockey, and the best part of North America. My name is Tustin Trudeau, and I am a Canadian, eh? Wilson. Move the way you want. Uber. Staples. That was easy. Voices past and present firing up the microphone. Hear them all. Brought to you by Closing Credits. Educate your way into the future.
Thank you, Luke.
Absolutely.
Let's hear from Deb and Roe.
Awesome, Luke. Thank you so much for having fun. That was great. It's funny because you started off what I thought was going to be really fast. I thought you were going to go speed and you didn't. So I'm actually really impressed by that. The butt accent was really fun. The was really great on Campbell's. That was nice and genuine. You did some research, which is really great to hear. I think that's where I kind of gravitate to a little bit more on this spot. I like that you guys are taking the time to do that. I've learned that's very important in our career. So I love that. The character on KFC was fun. They're great was really good too. Really fun version on the Coke. I like that you kind of came out of the song towards the end of it. I thought that was really clever. So really good job on that choice. I thought Apple was a bit aggressive, and I get why everybody's going aggressive there. It's got that anthematic sports kind of feel, if you will. I'm not sure that that's what I would want for that one, but it was just a little aggressive for me. Now, the Canadian one was tons of fun. I love the attitude. I love your opinions in it. You had nice little ad libs that were tasteful, not too out of the box there. So I loved the overall everything in there. For me, you really entertained us, but I think that you gave a little too much character and not enough of the real you. So I'm curious about the real you more so. Just a little bit less in some spots, I think would have been nice for me.
Thanks, Deb.
Hey, I agree with everything that Deb said. I loved all the character, but I want you, like everything. The Budweiser Southern accent, the doing the and adding that little extra on Campbell's, the Sunbeam 40s guy, the tag on the way you did the end of the singing on Coke, the Frosted Flakes was on point. KFC character was great. I like the tough apple because it's kind of that current angry sort of, we're all angry shit. And I kind of like it. We don't like to hear the anger, but we're all angry and hateful, right? Let's admit it. The hero on Staples, I really loved. And then you came in with promo stamping on the end, which is where I wanted you to hit you. I loved so much of it. I loved that you did your homework. I loved your variety. I loved your different use of accents. I loved that you knew that Justin Trudeau was our prime minister. I love the fun and the risk. You're great.
Thank you, Ellie. JMC.
I want to touch back on Deb's last point, which is that I heard a little too much of you doing voices and not enough from the heart, not enough real performance from the soul. So want a little more connection to the copy as opposed to just showing me how you can play with vocal placement. What I did love, Sunbeam, I thought was great. Tone of the Tiger, I thought was spot on. You started, I don't know exactly what you were going for with the singing portion, but it almost felt like a little Stewie Griffin to me. And I was wanting you to go all full Stewie on it. I mean, if you're going to go there, go there. And just go completely over the top, because that would have been just hilarious in his voice. So you got some range. Just engage. Buyers can hear it when you disengage, even for a line in a read, and that can be the difference between getting shortlisted and getting hired, or even getting on the short list. So just keep that engagement. You're gonna be fine.
Thank you, JMC. Cliff Zellman.
Hey there. All right. I thought it was pretty good overall. I did hear a lot of character, and I did kind of walk away saying, who is this guy? Is it important for me as a casting director to know who the person is? Not necessarily, but I want to know who somebody is. I thought that you were dropping out of character on That's the Song I Sing was terrific. I thought that was great. I was a little bit put off by adding an extra M in good. That is their trademark. And, to change that up a little bit, might be a little blasphemous. But I did hear your character voice in just about every one of the reads. I want to hear a little bit more of you. And when you do drop into a character, let's go a little bit outside, a little bit more, maybe take a little risk for humor. There's certainly spots on here that are cute, that are funny. The Canadian one's very funny. Sunbeam Bread, I'd like to have heard the word energy pop out. That just kind of died down. Energy is an important word, but overall, good. Stretch out a little bit.
Thank you, Double Buzz Zellman. Here is Eric Shepard.
Yeah, a lot of characters. At points, I think they were a little bit shoehorned in. I think I heard maybe a little Irish in the Canadian. There was a Southern guy that came out a lot where it didn't really belong with that copy. So it was kind of let me, kind of put in these characters. But overall, I'm trying to kind of see between what you're doing with the tags, even though there's not too much non-tag copy to play with. But overall, I felt you had a sense of comfort and ease, and that to me is always big. That there's not a lot of tension in the voice. There's not a lot of tension in the pacing, and that you just seem, again, like you belong there. You're not going to hit them all. One of my colleagues would say, it's impossible. There's so many, different tags here. So, but you do want to connect with the copy. If you're doing a character, why? And does that match with the copy that you're reading? But otherwise, the you, I want to hear more where it's you, because I have a feeling that I like you.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah. I really
Thanks,
appreciate that.
Awesome, Luke.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
I'm looking for the next person walking into the booth.
I feel them. I sense them.
You do?
Coming.
That's-
Yeah, I do.
She's got that ability, Ellie.
I got that a sense. I got the sense
swear
that
to
somebody's coming.
Oh, there we go. I can probably say that the person walking in. Hey, y'all, let's give it up for Nicole Fikes.
Woo!
And I'm going to tell you a bit about Nicole. She spent over 20 years as a creative director in the advertising industry, which explains the many police investigations. Now, 10 of those years, she was running her own ad agency. Very good, very good. Working with voice actors was part of the job description from time to time. And those experiences helped fuel the fire to eventually leave advertising and pursue a career in voiceover full time. Nicole is in the house.
Cool story, Nicole.
Yay.
All right. Thank you guys so much for having me. I am Nicole Fikes, and this is the commercial script.
Yay.
All right, here we go. Advertising makes the world go round. Over 12 decades and growing strong. Budweiser, the king of beer. Maxwell House coffee, good to the last drop. Campbell's soup, good. Everybody needs the kind of zip and zing pep that Sunbeam bread gives you. There's nothing like Sunbeam energy to help you stay on the beam. Kentucky Fried Chicken, finger licking good. They're great. Frosted Flakes. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. That's the song I sing. Just do it. Nike. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the ones that don't fit inside the box. Apple. Think different. Hey, I don't live in an igloo or eat blubber or own a dog sled. Okay, I have a prime minister, not a president. And it's pronounced Zed, not Z, Zed. Canada is the second largest landmass, the first nation of hockey, and the best part of North America. My name is Nicole, and I am Canadian. Eh? Molson. Move the way you want. Uber. Staples. That was easy. Voices past and present, firing up the microphone. Hear them all. Closing credits. Educate your way into the future.
Hey, Nicole. Up is the girl that likes to play, Ellie Ray.
Oh, Nicole, you've got a great voice, very current. I loved so many of your choices. I think they were great. I think just some wonderful stuff. The singing, they're a great relax, a lot of confidence. Just be aware that your overall rhythm, tone, pitch, speed, volume, emotion, even though you were switching slightly, was the same.
Okay.
So even though you pitched differently, or you might have tonally been differently, the overall rhythm for me was the same. And what it does is it lulls me into missing the point. So you find your gushes. So when you have an opinion, just find the climax in each one of those tags, the climax in each one of those little commercial moments. Otherwise, it'll take out that sort of beautiful, bright voice choice that I'm making for each one of these. They were all spectacular. I would have liked a little bit more shape inside of each one of them specifically. Yeah. So you were overall rounded, but you're excellent. You've got the goods, my friend. You're right up there. Oh my God.
Oh, thank you for that note. I appreciate it.
Thanks, you got it.
Here's JMC.
I'm going to give you similar feedback to what I gave to somebody else earlier, which is that regardless of the performance on this whole thing, you've got a voice that's made for national TV. I mean, you just sound like the mom next door or the CEO next door, and you've got this thing that just sounds like it's made for air, which is great in a good way. You have a core sound, so at the beginning, I felt like you were struggling a little bit to show range. The song was maybe the best one I've heard tonight. The perfect pitch. I thought that was absolutely beautiful. take more chances on when you have something this wild to play with. But other than that, I mean, listening to you again, I can hear you on a lot of big brand national TV stuff, and that's a win.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you, GMC.
Dr. Zellman. Dr. Zellman.
Stop.
What?
Okay, Nicole. I thought individually, take each one of these, cut them up, play them at different times. That each one was outstanding. I thought you nailed every single character. Did you have this kind of core speed that Ellie Ray was talking about all the way through? Yes, you did. But this is such an unusual script. If we would have just had the 20s, the 30s, the 40s as standalones, I thought they were fabulous. And I was really, really, as a musician, rooting for you to hit, but like to buy the world a Coke. You match that, you hit those notes. Is she going to hit that note on Coke that she said on by? I thought it was really, really good. I really liked listening to you. Marketable, absolutely. Bookable, absolutely. And I think that you can basically read anything that anybody throws in front of you. Put a little powdered sugar direction on it, and I think you're a winner.
Thank you.
You bet.
Yes.
Is it Eric next, Mr. Mike? Eric.
Well, now I'm worried about Mr. Mike.
I know. Now we
people
gotta
are
worry about Mr.
missing.
Mike.
How are people?
Hey, one too
How are
many
we supposed
lobster
to
jokes.
talk at a time like
One
this?
too many lobster jokes. I made a call.
I agree.
Okay.
Problems with
Nobody
my mouth.
probably took that.
On
and
time.
passed it
Let's
out.
go, Eric.
Something happened, Eric. I don't know.
Listen,
Back
we
then,
all work with professional voice talent on a daily basis. You sound like a professional voiceover talent. You were the first one yet where something hit me where it said, that sounds like somebody that I work with every day. And it's not just the voice, which is amazing. And there was some there was like, I think you really could have gone for a little bit more in times like Emulsion. But overall, I mean, right from the get, even just saying hi, your little Slater, whatever we're going to call it, you sound like a professional voiceover talent. You sound like the people that we work with. And that's the first time that I felt at home today.
Oh, I appreciate that, Eric. Thank you.
You, Eric.
Hey, I'm going to go too, Mr. Mike, if that's okay. So, Nicole, a really nice slate there. I loved it. You were confident. And I just want to say thank you for joining the other side. Your intro is quite fascinating, being in the ad agency and then coming on this side of it. I just love your story. I think that your Sunbeam was awesome. It was so nostalgic. You really brought us there. I love that. But really what I want to comment on the most, because I think the judges really hit everything nicely. The Budweiser, I love that you didn't go into a man mocking of that spot. We've heard that, and I don't think that's the right thing to do there. I love that you were you, but you gave it some balls what it needed, but you were you in that. I love that you kept everything moving along. You didn't need to take big transitions between things, but you took just enough time to adjust and get into the next spot. I was quite impressed with it. I thought you made excellent choices. I think you owned every spot. The only thing I would say is on the Canada one, I would have loved to hear you pick your energy up again. I think that goes back to what Ellie was saying about the pacing, just staying in too much in one pocket. Wonderful talent. Love you for this category. I think you're wonderful. Great job.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Jen.
Thank you.
Hey, sorry about that. This is a live show. Things happen.
It's okay.
People get hit by buses and less chances of dying than we do. Dying of horrible death in the middle of the studio. We're going to change out a voiceover talent and bring in somebody
That reminds me of
The last one.
Paris.
It's our last contestant in this first round too.
It is our last contestant. His last name reminds me of Sir Anthony, but he's not. The excitement continues with Paul Hopkins.
Yay!
Not yet. Not quite yet, it doesn't, but it will.
Oh, yeah. One.
All right, I'll tell you about Paul. Paul is a 30-year career veteran as an actor. He's voiced numerous national campaigns and rocked plenty more single spots for everything from McDonald's to YMCA. There goes that thing again. Yeah, his voiceover gaming credits include various roles in Assassin's Creed, the franchise, and Deus Ex. On camera, he's best known as Michael Mouse Tolliver in the groundbreaking Emmy-nominated series More and Further Tales of the City, and Disney's Zombies, the musical 1, 2, 3. Okay, to it, Paul.
Yeah. Go, baby,
Everybody,
go.
thanks and welcome, and really pleased to be here. Thanks, Ultimate VO Survivor, for inviting me. And here we go.
Yay.
Advertising makes the world go round. Over 12 decades and growing strong. Budweiser, the king of beer. Maxwell House Coffee. Maxwell House, good to the last drop. Campbell's Soup. Good. Everybody needs the kind of zip and zing pep that Sunbeam bread gives you. There's nothing like Sunbeam energy to help you stay on the beam. Kentucky Fried Chicken. Finger licking good. They're great. Frosted Flakes. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. That's a song I sing. Just do it. Nike. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the ones that don't fit inside the box. Apple, think different. Hey, I don't live in an igloo or eat blubber or own a dog sled. I have a prime minister, not a president. And it's pronounced Zed, not Z, Zed. Canada is the second largest landmass, the first nation of hockey, and the best part of North America. My name is Paul, and I am Canadian. Eh? Molson. Move the way you want. Uber. Staples. Huh. That was easy. Thank you very much, everybody.
Let's get your closing tag, Paul.
Voices. Okay.
Sorry.
Voices past and present. Firing up the microphone. Hear them all. Closing credits. Educate your way into the future.
There we go. Thank you, Michael.
There we go.
I think we're back to the top of the
worries,
batting
my
order with
fault.
JMC, aren't we?
Yes.
I
It was
thought
so easy until that point.
Paul, like your sound, like your skill set. I think you finished just very, very strong. Loved the crazy ones. You're channeling a little Robin Williams there, like the Canada thing where you just kind of went for it. And it again, it was, I'm not somebody who always reacts well to big. But when you do it and it feels like it's coming from the heart and it's an authentic performance, it works pretty well. So I thought that one was quite real. The Staples one was a subtly good read. You perfected the throwaway with a little character. And that's not easy to do. And I thought that was that's again one of those things you hear on national TV, at least in the US market, and that was well executed. The front of this is such a mishmash that it's somebody just has to really kind of go nuts to stand out, and it was a little bit of a blur for me, but a lot of range, and it's kind of funny because you really hooked me halfway in and you kept me listening the rest of the way.
Thank you, JMC. Captain Cliff.
Captain Cliff here. I thought overall it was pretty good. The beginning, yeah, you really started to shine halfway through. I thought the beginning was a little bit slow, and I'm thinking, how long is this going to be? It's really kind of dragging it out. I come from the world of automotive, so I like things rolling, no pun intended. I also liked the Staples. I thought that was really, really nice. I don't know how big one needs to get on the Canadian spot, but I enjoyed listening to it. I think that out of the gate, you kind of had to pull me back. I started to kind of maybe drift off a little bit because it just seemed taken off a little bit slow. Once we got into the Tony the Tiger, thought it was great. That's where I thought you found your character, you found your confidence. Understand, yes, nerves, of course. I mean, we all get it. But liked the voice and I liked the different characters. So pretty good.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Eric.
And this is not an insult, but I was surprised to hear 30 years and then to hear that read. There was some kind of giveaways, or you drop a little bit at the end, but I wasn't hearing a lot of that kind of stuff like we heard 30 years ago. There was like a realness, a rawness, even some stumbles, but that, kind of made you a little more real and raw. Normally, when you have somebody, that's been doing this from back when the announcers roamed the earth, they have kind of more VO tells. And yours, you were, again, it was more kind of real. It was raw. Molson, I think, was the standout for me because you went for it. Interesting. Good.
Thank you. Her name backwards is Ornum Bed. Here's Deb Monroe.
Oh my God, that's too much. Okay. Yeah, I felt the same thing. It was too slow for me in the opening. So that, I think that was a little bit of a hinder. And then you use some props. So I love your creativity, Paul. I love how much you're willing to give. So that, as much as I compliment, I also say it could be in the way, and it kind of might've gotten in the way there a little bit. But then when you got into Sunbeam, your energy started to pick up. So I think that's where we started to see a change in you. But I felt that you were actually just trying a little too hard. So for me, it was just trying too hard. That's what I was hearing myself. The Coke was so gentle. You were so gentle and kind. Oh my God. I'm in love with your soul. You show me this kindness in you that I don't know that I would want that for Coke, but I really loved hearing you in that. Nike, Uber, and Staples, absolute favorite. The reason they were my favorite is I love the real you. The real you I thought was just beautiful and loved it. Apple, I love the ending. You did this little ending at Apple, and it was just, again, real. That's every note that I had that's got stars on you is when you go real. I loved what you did with the Canadian personality one because I liked the personality you gave him. I believed him. He got big, but I really believed him. So there we go.
Thanks.
I love your personality. Just talking to us off the top, I think you landed that personality and it came into the read. It was theatrical for me. So it was presentational in the speed of theatricality on a stage for me off the top, which I don't mind, but you can hear that it sits slower because it's the once upon a time. And it was just sort of sitting slow for me. And I agree with everything everybody said. I love so many of your characters, except when you got to the KFC, it was a bit over sexualized and I don't know, pedophilic. It was kind of scared a little bit. I was like, whoa, okay, there's something not licking finger good there. I don't know. It was scary. And I just said, watch that because you've got texture in your voice that is a charm. But when you use it in certain ways, when you hit those low tones, I'm like, woohoo! And I agree with Deb. Uber Staples, the bright you is so glorious. And, all it was for me was sitting in a theatrical way of presenting off the top. And I feel at the end as well, you went to, oh shit, I forgot the thing and I have to present it.
Thank you, Ellie.
But I love you.
Thank you, Paul.
Good job, Paul.
Thank you, Paul, and your sexy chicken. Whoa. Well, you know what? I haven't had this much fun since breakfast. And that was breakfast in 1994. Tell you what, though, it sure makes you want to be a voice actor, doesn't it? I think I'm going to try it, What an incredible first round, huh? Do I get that right? Okay. Yeah, but just when you thought it was safe to use the facilities, which I did because I'm getting old, kapow! Round 2 is coming right up, live from the Get Mike website, Twitch TV, and Facebook Live. But first, a message from our beautiful, loving, and ever so amazing sponsors.
What's happening?
Being in closing credits, you get direct access to industry professionals who say, yeah, hey, you got a question? Here's my email.
Anyone who's like, oh, I'm interested in getting into voice acting, I'm interested in getting into acting, I'm like, closing credits, go now.
Just the accessibility and the affordability, you can do it anywhere. Improv, audio engineering, voice acting, 101, 201, 301, do it all. Because seriously,
it's the confidence. Once you find your confidence, your acting ability soars, and you can find your confidence at closing credits. I guarantee that.
Guys, Ultimate VO Survivor is back.
Life is full of twists and turns. All you really have to do
is hold on tight and enjoy the ride.
Opportunities don't just happen, you create them.
The power to recognize possibilities.
to dance like there's no one watching. To dance like there's no one watching.
To dance like there is no one watching.
You are the author of your story. Only you can write each chapter.
So be your true, authentic self. Besides, everyone else is already taken.
Besides, everyone else is already taken.
Besides, everyone else is taken.
Besides, everyone else is already taken. So, get mic'd at getmic'd.com.
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 You thought it was gone, 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 gone.
Gone? Really? You thought it was gone?
But that's not how we roll. We're not going to let go of the voiceover industry's biggest and longest running event.
Come on now. VO Atlanta returns March 2023, featuring the grand finale of the Ultimate VO Survivor!
Live on our main stage. Oh, and some educational stuff too.
Oh, and some educational stuff too. Is that a unicorn?
Oh my god, it's a unicorn. Why is it wearing a tiara?
Whatever.
VO Atlanta is now an Anna Collins event, which means it's gonna be lit.
It gonna be lit.
It's gonna be lit. Wait a minute.
Is it only young people that are supposed to say lit? I'm hip, right?
I'm millennial. I can say that. Okay.
What's this promo about again? Oh, yeah. VoiceOverAtlanta.com.
VOAtlanta.com. See you.
See you on the UVOS VO Atlanta stage.
I'm hip too, right? Right? Right?
Beep-a-deep-a-deep.
All right. Well, we're in break there. I was enjoying myself watching Eric poke JMC in the head. It was awesome. All right, we're going to do this now. So, contestants, let's get ready for those at home watching. I got to put my loop on here. We're going to have you cheer on your favorite VO for the promo reads. I'm going to yell out your name. You got 1 minute to do your bit. And we're going to start with Nicole, and you're on.
What? Hi, everyone, again. My name is Nicole Fikes, and this is the promo script. All right. It's like any other day. The sun is shining, birds are chirping, and Mama Bear is watching her baby cub fornicate. Wait, I'm sorry. What? Welcome to the wild and wacky world of parenthood from a rare bird's eye view, where parenting is more than baby makers, sex addicts, unfaithful, abusive, deadly. And well, let's face it, not exactly the role model of parenting. In this extraordinary adventure, we'll take a deep dive behind the scenes, a zoo of wild animal body parts, kinky turn-ons, and bizarre baby-making rituals, following parents' journey from a different perspective. Parenthood in the Jungle, coming this fall to Love Pets. Brought to you by the VoiceOver Network.
Thank you, Nicole. Paul, are you ready to rock and roll? Here we go. You're up.
Hey everybody, Paul Hopkins here again. So here we go. It's like any other day. The sun is shining, birds are chirping, and Mama Bear is watching her baby cub fornicate. Wait, say what? Welcome to the wild and wacky world of parenthood from a rare bird's eye view, where parenting is more than baby makers, sex addicts, unfaithful, abusive, deadly, and, well, let's face it, not exactly the role model of parenting. In this extraordinary adventure, we will take a deep dive behind the scenes, a zoo of wild animal body parts, kinky turn-ons, and bizarre baby-making rituals, following parents' journey from a different perspective. Parenthood in the Jungle. Coming this fall to Love Pets. Brought to you by the VoiceOver Network.
Thank you, Paul. George is in the house. You ready, George? You're up.
So ready. Here we go. It's like any other day. The sun is shining, birds are chirping, and Mama Bear is watching her baby cub fornicate. Wait. Say what? Welcome to the wild and wacky world of parenthood from a rare bird's eye view, where parenting is more than baby makers, sex addicts, unfaithful, abusive, deadly, and well, let's face it, not exactly the role model of parenting. In this extraordinary adventure, we'll take a deep dive behind the scenes, a zoo of wild animal body parts, kinky turn-ons, extracurricular body fluids, and bizarre baby-making rituals, following parents' journey from a different perspective. Parenthood in the Jungle, coming this fall to Love Pets, brought to you by the VoiceOver Network.
Thank you, George. Aaron, you're on.
Hello, hello. It's like any other day. The sun is shining, birds are chirping, and Mama Bear is watching her baby cub fornicate. Wait, say what? Welcome to the wild and wacky world of parenthood from a rare bird's eye view, where parenting is more than baby makers, sex addicts, unfaithful, abusive, deadly, and well, let's face it, not exactly the role model of parenting. In this extraordinary adventure, we will take a deep dive behind the scenes, a zoo of wild animal body parts, kinky turn-ons, and bizarre baby-making rituals, following parents' journey from a different perspective. Parenthood in the Jungle, coming this fall to Love Pets, brought to you by the VoiceOver Network.
Thank you, Aaron. Ian, you're up.
Let's kick this pig. It's like any other day. The sun is shining, birds are chirping, and Mama Bear is watching her baby cub fornicate. Wait, what? Welcome to the wild and wacky world of parenthood from a rare bird's eye view, where parenting is more than baby makers, sex addicts, unfaithful, abusive, deadly, and, well, let's face it, not exactly the role model of parenting. In this extraordinary adventure, we will take a deep dive behind the scenes, a zoo of wild animal body parts, kinky turn-ons, and bizarre baby-making rituals, following parents' journey from a different perspective. Parenthood in the Jungle, coming this fall to Love Pets, brought to you by the VoiceOver Network.
Thank you, Ian. Amina.
Let's do it. It's like any other day. The sun is shining, birds are chirping, and Mama Bear's watching her baby cub fornicate. Wait, what? Welcome to the wild and wacky world of parenthood from a rare bird's eye view, where parenting is more than baby makers, sex addicts, unfaithful, abusive, deadly. And well, let's face it, not exactly the role model of parenting. In this extraordinary adventure, we will take a deep dive behind the scenes, a zoo of wild animal body parts, kinky turn-ons, and bizarre baby-making rituals, following parents' journey from a different perspective. Parenthood in the Jungle, coming this fall to Love Pets, brought to you by the VoiceOver Network.
Thanks, Amina. Luke G.
Be a bit better behaved. Parenting in the Jungle. It's like any other day, you see. The sun's shining, birds are chirping, and Mama Bear is watching her baby cub fornicate. Wait, say what? Welcome to the wild and wacky world of parenthood from a rare bird's eye view, where parenting is more than baby makers, sex addicts, unfaithful, abusive, and deadly. And, well, let's face it, not exactly the role model of parenting. In this extraordinary adventure, we will take a deep dive behind the scenes, a zoo of wild animal parts, kinky turn-ons, and bizarre baby-making rituals, following parents' journey from a different perspective, see? Parenthood in the Jungle, coming this fall to Love Pets, brought to you by the VoiceOver Network.
Thank you, Luke. Beth, let's hear from you.
It's like any other day. The sun is shining, birds are chirping, and Mama Bear is watching her baby cub fornicate. Wait, what? Welcome to the wild and wacky world of parenthood from a rare bird's eye view, where parenting is more than baby makers, sex addicts, unfaithful, abusive, deadly, and, well, let's face it, not exactly role model parenting. In this extraordinary adventure, we will take a deep dive behind the scenes, a zoo of wild animal body parts, kinky turn ons, and bizarre baby making rituals, following parents' journey from a different perspective. Parenthood in the Jungle, coming this fall to Love Pets, brought to you by the VoiceOver Network.
Thank you, Beth. Janice, you're up.
It's like any other day. The sun is shining, birds are chirping, and Mama Bear is watching her baby cub fornicate. What? Say what? Welcome to the wild and wacky world of parenthood from a rare bird's eye view, where parenting is more than baby makers, sex addicts, unfaithful, abusive, deadly. And well, let's face it, not exactly the role model of parenting. In this extraordinary adventure, we will take a deep dive behind the scenes, a zoo of wild animal body parts, kinky turn-ons, and bizarre baby-making rituals, following parents' journey from a different perspective. Parenthood in the Jungle, coming this fall to Love Pets, brought to you by the VoiceOver Network.
Thanks, Janice. Luke O.
Yo, welcome back. It's like any other day. The sun is shining, birds are chirping, and Mama Bear is watching her baby cub fornicate. Wait, say what? Oh, what did I get myself into? Welcome to the wild and wacky world of parenthood from a rare bird's eye view, where parenting is more than baby makers, sex addicts, unfaithful, abusive, no, deadly, eek. And well, let's face it, not exactly the role model of parenting. In this extraordinary adventure, we will take a deep dive behind the scenes, a zoo of wild animal body parts, kinky turn-ons, and bizarre baby-making rituals, following a parent's journey from a different perspective. Parenthood in the Jungle, coming this fall to Love Pets, brought to you by the VoiceOver Network.
Thank you, Luke. Last but not least, Michael.
Definitely a show to watch in incognito mode. Okay. It's like any other day. The sun is shining, birds are chirping, and Mama Bear is watching her baby cub fornicate. Wait, say what? Welcome to the wild and wacky world of parenthood from a rare bird's eye view, where parenting is more than baby makers, sex addicts, unfaithful, abusive, deadly. And well, let's face it, not exactly the role model of parenting. In this extraordinary adventure, we will take a deep dive behind the scenes, a zoo of wild animal body parts, kinky turn-ons, and bizarre baby-making rituals, following parents' journey from a different perspective. Parenthood in the Jungle, coming this fall to Love Pets, brought to you by the VoiceOver Network.
Thanks, Michael. Okay. Wow. Incredible performers all around. Yeah.
Awesome. You're so awesome.
Deb, Ellie, do you want to say anything? And our esteemed judges?
I think you guys all did an amazing job. Thank you guys so much. And for those of you watching at home, let's give it up for Jade running our OBS, man. Wow, it's a lot of work to be doing this virtually, and we're honored that you guys are watching at home. So thank you for supporting us. Ellie?
I just want to say what a phenomenal bunch of storytellers we've had here tonight. And always, obviously, you know, out of almost 2,000 auditions, you made it this far. So you're already winners. This is just a game. We're all just playing it. You're doing phenomenal and you should know it. You're already spectacular. You're successful. That's why you're here. So know that you've made our job incredibly difficult for us. So we will go in and deliberate and pull some strings out of our minds to try and figure out what creatively is better than something else creatively when it's all creative and it's all unique and different. So yeah, you've made it even harder for us than we could imagine. So thank you for your work.
And for those of you at home, we'll be announcing our winner tomorrow. So just be watching for that on our socials and on our website.
That's right. A round of applause for our guest judges, Cliff.
Survivor,
JMC,
take 3 could
Eric
not
Shepherd.
happen
Thank you guys
without
for
a
volunteering and helping us out. This is amazing.
Woohoo!
Wow.
We love you guys.
Yes, we do. How about that, contestants? Listen, for the love of lemons, where's the golden buzzer? Oh, damn it, wrong show. Okay, I'll be back. Shoot, wrong show. Don't worry, I'll get it right for next time. Look, we did a team, and we don't envy our judges on this one. Okay, let's send our judges into the deliberation room. Not the delivery room. You guys get that wrong.
Oh, it's a delivery room for me.
And for you guys at home, it's time to vote for your favorite. Yeah, you can. Thanks for tuning in to the Ultimate VO Survivor Take 3 commercial promo episode. Now, look, make sure and join us next week, same time, same bat channel, for the narration audiobook episode, February 8th, 7 to 9 p.m., I think. Yes. That's Eastern time on our Twitch TV and our Get Mike channel and our Facebook. I'm going to leave you with this. When life shuts a door, open it again, because it's a door. That's kind of how they work.
Get out.
I didn't write this crap, all right? I know who did.
Get out. I didn't write that.
We all know who did. Remember, you're always a winner to us, and for those moving on to the next round, good night, good luck, and by the way, I take cash.
Thanks, Mr. Mike. We love you, Mr. Mike.
I love you. And I'll never steal a car or drive in a bar because I'm going to go far. Yeah.
Yeah,
Get Mike, the Ultimate VO Survivor, Take 3 could not happen without a whole bunch of incredible people, creatures, and others, best known as our sponsors and donors. Our presenting sponsor, Bodalgo. Location sponsor, VO Atlanta. Joining forces with our platinum sponsors, Closing Credits, and VoiceOver Network. Our booth sponsor, Bear Cave Sound Booths. Gold sponsors, Good Novel, Dally Cartoon, and Sean Marquez. Distribution sponsor, VoiceOver Extra. Our sound wouldn't be the same without Voices and Sound, Roman Barry. And our creators, Ellie Ray and Deb Monroe. Look at this phenomenal lineup of sponsors. The list keeps growing and growing. Geez, I think this is my 15th pickup. Wow, I never take 15 takes. Except that time with the... never mind. Anyway, here they are. Hale Kaimu, JMC Demos, Amazing Demos, the Voice Acting Academy, One Voice Conference, Voice 123, The Voice Realm, Micmacs, The Art of Jared Alvin, Kim Handysides, VO Boss, and Ganguza Voice Productions, Global Voice Acting Academy, Casting Call Club, Voice Island, Daily VO, ICOM Productions, Daryl Hogan, The V123 Pros, Larry Hudson VO, Antland Productions, Joshua Alexander Voiceovers, Malie Hutton Coaching, George the Tech, Cashman Commercials, Gravy for the Brain Canada, the Home Voiceover Studio Master, Cast Voices, Accent Production Coaching with Francois Balthazar, Mocap U, Sound for VO, Coaching for Voice and Sound, The Dawn of Voice, Levo Takeover, Ellen Dubin, Electric Lips Productions, Lau Lapidus Company, Bootleg The Band, Imagine Media, On the Mic Training, Source Connect, The Shepherd Agency, The Voiceover Collective, The Voiceover Resource Guide, Kim Herden, Voice Talent Online, Kyle Hayhoop, Tony Daniels, Jade Ball, Zach Hendricks, Trudy Sue Hicks, Rachel Z. And the list keeps growing. Thank you for all you do for the voice community. Now, let's get mic'd. The Ultimate VO Survivor, Take 3, coming soon to a device near you.